Alright everybody, we're hopping into another tier list video here before the worldwide celebration officially begins. I wanted to go ahead and get a lot of my opinions out on some of these characters before the worldwide celebration begins and we start getting EZAs there. That way whenever I start talking about like how good I think a character is, you guys can look at, you know, how I rate other units. So if I say, oh, I think this unit is better than, I don't know, like if I say this unit's better than MVP 17 or something like that, or if I say I think they're about this level, you guys kind of know in my mind where I'm kind of ranking them and the units that I'm like comparing them with exactly. So I wanted to go ahead and get this video out, like I said before then. So this is going to be the top 10 Dokkan Fest EZA TURs. It says July, it's August. We haven't really gotten any that aren't on this list. I have used them all on this list. That is the nice thing. I do have Beerus over on my JP account, so I have used him a little bit. Sadly, I don't have Gohan on my 200%, or like on my, I don't have Int Gohan on my JP account, but I've still used him, and I have an idea of how he would perform, so in general, this guy's going to be an interesting one to watch too as well. We'll talk about that whenever we get to it, but for now, let's go ahead and hop into number 10. Oh, also, one more thing. You guys, if you've watched my tier list before, you know how I like to do things. These color codings on the side denote tiers. So if I have a character at 9 and you think that they should be like 6, or you think they should be 10 or something like that, just know that this is like the same tier, and I'm not really going to argue with you much over like these tiers right here. Like if you think the character at 10 should be 6, or you think 6 should be 8, whatever, like you can just interswap these anywhere. Same thing with the top 3, you know, like if you think number 3 is 1 or 2 is 1, whatever. It's like, the way I do things, it's like I do put a lot of value on usability, which definitely shows in this tier list more than maybe others. So if that tells you anything about who the top 3 are. But anyway, right now we're going to go ahead and hop into number 10 here, and we do have EZA Future Gohan. This was tough. I'll tell you, I went boom, 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 like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got all of them filled out. Like, this happens very commonly in my tier list. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I go, okay, 6 through 10. And I just kind of have to get an amalgamation of units together and kind of start going, where do I rank these guys? What do I think about these guys? It's always very, like, it's very easy for the first 5, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I use this unit a lot, I use this unit a lot, I use this, you know, like, and I'm able to pin them down. And then I start getting down here, and I'm like, man, I don't really use any of these characters. Like, if I'm bringing Future Gohan, it's because there is, like, nobody else better to bring on a team, which is very rare. That being said, Future Gohan, the reason he is still able to be used, you know, in the current meta is because he does have this damage reduction right here. He starts out with 30% baseline, and he does build up an additional 20% or 28% up to a total of 58% damage reduction. That in conjunction with getting defense on his super attack, having some decent links, and, you know, there being some Trunks availables right now. We're probably about to get a new Trunks as well. Like, this just makes him decently valuable. Don't expect this guy to go into, like, the Omega Shadow Dragon event or something like that and perform amazingly, but if you just, like, have to have a 6th unit on your team in order to make a team, and you've got a Trunks available, you know, then you can make it work with this guy. But you're going to have to be very careful with him because he's not really the best. There are some good all-in-the-family units these days that you can try to get that active with, but I don't know how common it is for you to get all-in-the-family active whenever you have to have a Future Trunks attacking in the same turn, so that could mess you up a little bit there. But if you're running, like, Bond of Parent and Child / Future, like Vegeta and Trunks' team, which I think is a 200% leader for him, right? No, it's not. Okay. Well, but hypothetically, if you're running the Bond of Parent and Child team, right, and you just had this guy as a floater because, you know, they lead Future, and then you have, like, Vegeta and Trunks in slot 1. That'll activate this guy's Trunks Future Saga condition, right? Like, that'll activate that. And then maybe you have, like, the AGL Carnival Goku in slot 2, who has All in the Family. Then you could get All in the Family active with this guy in slot 3. And you're just running him as a floater, and you have a Vegeta and Trunks on both rotations. Like, that could work, right? Like, you could get his good defensive link active. And, like he could definitely work for you, but just know that anybody down here in, like, this bottom 10 here don't really matter too much at the end of the day. So that's where I have him now. If you think he should be higher or not even on the list, let me know. Let's go ahead and move into the next unit. Now, this next one is probably going to disappoint some people. This is probably going to ruffle a few feathers. Maybe. I don't know. I think everybody's kind of in agreement on this guy being a bit undertuned, but I am going to go ahead and put Vegito next. Very interestingly, they're in almost the same position, right? And they have like the same hair, basically. But I am going to put Vegito in 9 just because I never use this character. The only time I've ever really used this character was in his initial showcase, and I did not enjoy recording his showcase videos. I have a lot of really... like, this is... What do people call him? They call him, like, Super Magnet, or, like, Super Magneto, or Super Magneto, or something, because it just seems to be that the super attacks always land on this guy. They just did not give him enough defense in his kit. Like, at all. All they gave him was this damage received from normal attacks, which is great. And then they gave him, like, this really bad build-up. Like, what is this even for? Because he's pretty much going to be double-digit tanking from all normals in the game anyway. You would think that maybe they would give him some defense to help shave off the damage he takes from super attacks. But I don't remember exactly. But doesn't this guy, like, Fringe get up to, like, 400k defense barely post-super attack or something? Like, I remember this guy being maxed out, having, like, some of the worst defense I have seen in a long time. So, I don't really understand what the point of this is. Like, they're kind of giving it to him, like, look, guys, ooh, we're giving him defense, ooh. And it's like, why, though? Like, this guy does nothing special. I do not understand. Like, this key buildup is terrible. You have to get hit. Every time you get hit 3 times in battle, you get 1 key. Like, what is that? You're supposed to put this guy up in front of a ton of attacks, but if he gets supered, you're dead. Like, I don't get it. This is one of those units, though, that he could age well. As time goes on, if we ever get to a point where bosses are doing, like, just so much damage on normals that we don't have anybody that can tank it, these 80% damage reduction units do tend to age well, but it's still just, like, a huge risk as to why should you bring him, because, like, he's still going to get one shot by supers, so I don't really get it. This guy's 9. I don't feel the need to dwell on him much longer. Let's go ahead and move into 8. Alright, so these next couple were kind of tough, but I did kind of settle on where I wanted to go with these guys. So next up at 8, we do have Super Boo. Again, I could see him up at 6, but Super Boo, the issue with Super Boo is his Super Boo form, this form... I feel like it's a little underrated by people. It's not as bad as people say it is, but him not getting defense in this first form is pretty bad in a lot of fights, and it can hurt him quite a bit. I am not really impressed with this guy in his Super Boost state. They could have definitely done more here, but the issue with him is that they made Boo Piccolo really good, and they made Boo Gohan really good, but I feel like most of the time the character that you're going to see is Boo Tanks, and they made this Boo Tanks just absolutely atrocious. Like, I don't think Boo Tanks even makes, like, the top 15 of EZA TURs or something. Like, let me see. I have in my mind, I know who, like, the next, you know, like, what is this, 7 units are, and, like, I might put this guy, like, this guy would go in, like, an honorable mentions tier, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and move him up here. This guy's a big honorable mention, but I would probably put him over, like, shitty... sorry, listen, if you're a kid out there, listen, I'm sorry, but that's the only way to describe this transformation of Boo Tanks is just terrible. And I feel like you're going to get it most of the time because it's between 50 and 79% HP. That's, like, a huge window that you're going to be at on turn 5, so I don't really like this. I think Boo Ultimate Gohan is pretty solid. I don't know where I would put him in terms of, like, if he was just that start of turn. He might be up here in, like, 3 to 4. He might be up here. But I think the Boo Tanks transformation, like, drags him down so much that I think he averages out here. Like, I would put maybe Super Boo himself, like, somewhere just, like, in this range of, like, 8 to 10. I would put Boo Piccolo, like, in the 4 to 5 range. And I think I would put Boo Han in, like, the 3 to 4 range, and then, like, I don't know, Boo Tanks down in, like, the Super Shadow Realm, like, down here. Like, I don't know. So, I feel like 8's a good average for him. Right now, we're also kind of waiting on just Majin Buu units to have a team. Majin Buu units right now really just don't have a place in the game. We need, like, a solid Majin Buu Saga leader to, like, round them all together. And I'm afraid that this guy is going to age out before we get that. So, we will see. We'll see if he gets the help in time, but... right now, he also shares the name with, like, the LR, and I feel like in most cases, I would just rather run the LR. Like, I don't want to deal with trying to wait until turn 5 to get this guy out to even be good. It's like, I want Super Boo, the LR, who's going to be, like, acceptable on turn 1, and I just want to deal with it. So that's who I have at number 8. Let's go ahead and move on to 7. All right, so listen, guys, I was in the middle of recording this this funny little tier list video, right? Listen, let's just let's cut to the chase. Okay, listen, I gotta get this done so I can record something else right now. We're gonna go ahead and just fill in the rest of the tier list here. Listen, there might have been some big news that just maybe you know, I don't you know, here we go. Let's just go ahead and get my thoughts out in a video. We're gonna speed this up a little bit because I got something else I need to be recording right now. I don't know if you guys noticed here or anything, but turns out there's some big news going on right now. So you know, here we go. Top 10 EZA TURs. Quick rundown. Piccolo, he's number 1. Because I feel like he's the most useful across all content in the game right now. I don't like gimmick units, and right now Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku is a gimmick unit, and you can't even use him against, like, Omega, really, because just Universe 7 can't really get it done. I mean, maybe they can, but not really. So I don't like this unit. I don't want to run this unit. I mean, he's cool. If we ever get reps of Universe 7, this guy shoots up to the moon, like far and beyond the moon. Like I'd have to add, like, 8 gaps in order to show you how much better this guy would be than, like, Piccolo, but right now he's basically unusable, but I'm still trying to put respect on him. I'm putting him at number 2 because, like, listen, this guy does so much damage. It's insane. No other unit does, like, damage faster than this guy. I mean, it's ridiculous, and he has the guard. I mean, he's really well designed. The issue right now is reps of Universe 7 is dead, and until it's alive, I can't put him at number 1. Piccolo, I can use him on Orange Piccolo's team, which is a very much alive team, and it's very good. Blue Gogeta, great unit on some good teams. Like I've said in the past, if you can't die, or if you can't get hit, you can't die. So if you dodge, you live, right? Or you survive. Basically, that's kind of why he's at number 3. I mean, the reason he's in this red tier as well, I was kind of deciding whether or not I wanted him to be in the green tier or the red tier. I did go ahead and put him in red just because if you happen to get crazy God RNG with this guy, and he just dodges everything, I mean, like, you're just going to be doing a ton of damage, right? And he can't get hit. So there's only a few fights in the game right now that cancel dodge. And, you know, the Omega phase is one of them. And it is tech. But, you know, you can debuff that Omega, so you can get some use out of this guy on, like, the superhero team. You know, Orange Piccolo does debuff. There are other debuffing characters, so this guy can be very effective, and that's why I kind of want to put him in the same red tiers, because it's like, you know, this guy can take damage, this guy can take damage, although he does have the scouter, but this guy does have the dodge, and like I said, I say it 100 times, if you can't get hit, you can't die. So, you know, this guy could have some crazy RNG for you, and you could just, like, double super, dodge everything, and just look insane. So I could see him at number 1, but I think 3, honestly, I could put him at, like, 4 if I wanted, but this Beerus right here, I'm expecting him to look really good in this celebration, because, yeah, I mean, listen, do I need to say more? Beerus gets really good. He gets Rainbow Orb changing against Realm of Gods category enemies. The issue with all Beerus units right now, though, is that they kind of just are missing a spot to run them. Beerus wants to be around other, like, God units like Beerus and Whis, and we just don't really have very many good ones right now. But if you have, like, Int Whis or something who's going, like, and if he dodges, then, you know, Beerus can be good, but it kind of relies on some, you know, crazy RNG. So I put him at 4. I felt like this was a comfortable spot for him. I don't think I could see him in this top tier because he doesn't really have, like, viability like these other guys. Like, these guys each do something special. Like, this guy's stacking defense with a scouter, and he can get damage reduction, and he just is really good. He shares links with Orange Piccolo. I like that. This guy can just do the most damage. This guy has dodge, and he can prevent you from dying. Beerus doesn't really have anything like that can really just, you know, help you secure a win. But I do still think he's valuable enough to be in this top tier. MVP 17 is probably the one I run maybe second most out of this list. But I don't like how his defense is really locked behind him being at low HP. I like him, I like the support that he gives, but if he doesn't have his full passive up, he's kind of a huge liability, and I don't like that it's HP restrictive. Any character with an HP restriction I don't like. This 17 is okay. He's definitely lived far below his means, and I would generally prefer running him over Cooler. Cooler is just a dead weight to me. This guy sucks. I'm sorry. Listen, get over it. Unless you were just, like, coddling this guy to the extreme, like, this guy is not going to do it. This guy's a complete L. And then I already talked about these 3. So let me know what you guys think about this list. Let me know if there's anything that you would change. I got to go cover some more important things, though. So you guys let me know what you think. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to catch you guys next time.